in Niles in 1851, after which Sarah and the children returned to Orange County. William was 9 years old, his mother 36. Sarah remarried in 1854, and by 1860, young William, at 18, was shown on the census as a farmhand in the household of his stepfather, James Holbert. William married Holbert's daughter, Susan Teresa, in 1861. They lived in a small house, which is still there today, on Glenmere Road, where William and Teresa had a son, Theodore Finch Lawrence, in 1863. And Lawrence began to make the European soft cheeses on a small scale in the basement and met with some success. Susan Teresa died in 1871, leaving William with little Theodore, age 7. He married a second time the following year. His new wife, Mary Ann Murray, had a 5-year-old son, James Slane Murray. The story is that one of his vendors, a New York grocery firm, Park and Tilford, asked Lawrence for something their customers wanted, a richer, more delicate cheese. By 1873, his business and success growing, he bought the old Joseph Derlin store building at Cozy Corner, which is the spot now occupied by Walgreens, and continued his cheese making, including cream cheese, in its basement. In 1876, he bought this property from Charles D. House and constructed a creamery which expanded into his immense operation by the mid-1880s. As a result of its global success, he became fabulously wealthy. In 1894, production exceeded $4 million in today's dollars. There was also a sugar factory located on the site, which manufactured a sugar coating for pills that began in 1899, but that was soon sold off. The magnitude of his business interests did not deter his involvement with his major role in the development of the village. Shortly after he bought this property, the Great Fire of July 4th, 1877, destroyed the entire business district in the lower village, followed by 2 more large fires. It was evident that for the village to thrive, a water system for fire protection was essential, and Lawrence was instrumental in the creation and incorporation of the village, its purpose being able to tax the residents to finance a water system. He was elected the first president of the village upon a corporation in 1893, and he was re-elected repeatedly. When he declined to serve longer as village president, he was elected to the Board of Trustees. His other activities are almost too many to enumerate. Being foremost in the efforts to give Chester its system of water supply, he was on the first Board of Water Commissioners, and he was a founding member of our fire department, Walton Hose. Mr. Lawrence was an extensive holder of real estate in Chester. The land on both sides of Brookside Avenue, from West Avenue north, reaching into the town of Goshen, totaling roughly 150 acres, was among his holdings. In 1906, with partner J.T. Thompson, he built the Lawrence Block on Main Street in the Lower Village. As a member of the Chester Methodist Church, Mr. Lawrence was very active in church work and served as trustee for 30 years. He was a director of the Chester National Bank. He was a Mason of high standing, a justice of the peace for the town of Chester, president of the Horse Thief Detective Society, a director of the Middletown State Homeopathic Hospital, director of the Orange County Fair, instrumental in establishing a Chester Board of Trade, involved in bringing electricity and telephone service into Chester, a director of the Orange County Driving Park Association, which we know as Historic Track. Mr. Lawrence owned a number of good racehorses, which he raced successfully. His love for the horse caused him to take a keen and active interest in the work of the Orange County Horse and Road Improvement Association when it was organized by Edward H. Harriman. and he was closely associated with the great financier in the movement. As such, under the auspices of this organization that gave Orange County its fine system of good roads, he was largely responsible for the fine Telford pavement, in which Chester takes justifiable pride. He was the vice president of the association until its affairs concluded and its surplus on hand devoted to the Harriman Memorial Fountain in Goshen, Lawrence being chairman of the committee for the fountain. As his health failed, his doctor advised reducing his activities, and in 1910, he purchased the house at what is now 129 South Church Street, Goshen. It had a handsome stable for his horses and was adjacent to the racing park. He died at his Goshen home on March 31st, 1911. On April 3rd, 1911, all village business halted in Chester from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. as a memorial to Mr. Lawrence. His funeral was largely attended. In addition to the large attendance, the 40 employees of the Lawrence & Son Cheese Factory attended in a body. And now I'm going to go in and ask Mr. Thomas Landrigan, who's one of the partners for this attorney's firm, Cohen, LaBarbera, and Landrigan, if he would honor us by unveiling